Hi, I have started this video so many times and I just want to be natural, but I feel like I can't be natural because I've watched too many videos that say that I need to have this really awesome hook at the beginning of the video or people are going to click off immediately. And if that's you, sorry to see you go, but I needed to just get started. I'm recording myself on camera and sending it out on the internet. It is this kind of weird thing, but I am committed to doing it because I have a mission. And my mission is to find out if it is actually possible to be a mom to young children in our day and age and not be completely depleted and completely self sacrificing and completely miserable. Is it possible? I think it's possible. I actually know it's at least somewhat possible because I have been on this journey for a while and I am finding my way toward a freaking awesome. Can I say fucking awesome? I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on YouTube. A really awesome life that I love. And oh my God, being a parent, not just a parent, being a mom, this shit is so real. It is so intense. There's so much on me all the time. And I was in the kitchen the other day and I had this moment where I realized it was like my husband was on me. He's like all hugging me and up on me, which is very sweet. Yes, of course. And then I have a 7-year-old, almost 8-year-old, and she was upset that I hadn't done, I think it was like bedtime with her the night before. And so she was sad because she was missing mama. And then my little one, I have a 1-year-old, was on the floor looking up at me, just making the milky sign. And I was like, oh my God, everybody wants a piece of me. And all I want is some space for myself. But then I had this realization when I was younger, especially when I was in my 20s, I used to have this fantasy that I would be the it girl, like the girl that everybody wanted. And it probably goes all the way back to elementary school when I can't even remember how young I was when people started to have crushes on each other. And there was always that one girl in class that all the boys liked. And I always wanted to be that girl. Does everybody want to be that girl? I wanted to be that girl. And I was not that girl. I wasn't like a really unpopular girl. It wasn't that nobody liked me. It's just that I was not the girl that everybody wanted. And I think there's so many times in my life where that's what I wanted. And that's what I was not that in the world. So there I was standing in the kitchen with my husband wanting a piece of me, and then my older daughter unhappy because she wanted me, and then my little one just like starting to cry and hungry because she literally wanted a part of my body. And I was like, oh, look what I set up for myself. I'm the one that everyone wants. I'm the one that everyone's obsessed with. It's like I created this in my family. So I kind of pat myself on the back for that one. And I just laughed to myself because so much of my struggle these days is how do I find time for myself? How do I nourish myself? How do I take care of myself? How do I connect with my passion, with my purpose, with being who I really want to be in the world, with the incredible, intense, incessant demands of being a mother in this day and age. So I, not that long ago, created a podcast that I called Regenerative Motherhood. And I love this concept and idea. I'm so into it. And I live at an eco village. So thinking about climate change and thinking about ecology and thinking about regeneration is kind of on my mind and in my world. It's really probably in all of our worlds now, given the state of the world. But it's especially present for me. And I started it with this same question. Is it possible to be a mother right now and to not live from a state of depletion, but to actually not even just find sustainability where we can kind of make it through, but to find regeneration where we are nourishing ourselves and nurturing ourselves and living such a well fed life. And we are in such a state of wellness that everything that grows and comes out of our life is then that much healthier, that much more beautiful, that much more rich, and that it just affects everyone in our world, from our kids, partners, community, and then the broader world. So that's the thing that I've been exploring for a little while now in terms of regenerative motherhood. And I have the podcast and I've been looking at different themes around that. But I decided that I wanted this YouTube channel to be a place to really kind of experiment with / share my experiments in this path of regenerative motherhood, in sort of a more granular way and also a more vulnerable way. And I guess that's why I had to start the video like this. Maybe I'm going to learn how to do those hooks. I'm going to figure out how to do those really good hooks. But if you stayed here with me without the hook, I just want to say thank you. And I'm figuring that my YouTube videos are just going to keep getting better because that's what all the experts say happens. But I also really want it to be a place where I can be myself, and you, whoever, whatever mom is out there listening, can feel a little less alone, can feel connected, can feel like you're here with me. And there's going to be some ways that our lives are super similar, and there's going to be some ways that our lives are really different. And that's okay, because we're all on this path and this experiment for ourselves. Here's how I've been thinking about regenerative motherhood so far. And it's kind of like a download that I got on a walk in the woods one day. And being out in nature is one of the best places for me to ground and connect with myself. And I love it. And that's part of why I moved to this eco village just, I guess, about 3.5 years ago, because I wanted to be surrounded by nature. And it has been so resourcing. I'm sure I'm going to talk a lot more about that as we go forward. But the 4 areas that I'm really thinking of and that I'm going to be tracking as I move forward with this experiment are this. The first one is about nourishment. And I talked about that already a little bit when I talked about the concept of regenerative motherhood. But I think there's so many ways that we have to have a baseline of nourishment as human beings, of course, but that especially gets hard in motherhood. If we don't have that, oh, it's so funny. I can see the people behind me, my neighbors walking by, a little playground out there. Our pond is frozen right now, so everyone's going down there and ice skating. It is so freaking sweet. I love it. Okay. Number 1, nourishment. We need to nourish our bodies, and our bodies, we need to nourish all parts of ourselves, I guess. But I think the first piece is really about this baseline nourishment. It's about how we feed ourselves. It's about sleep. It's about taking care of our bodies. It's about movement, all the things that can get absolutely shoved to the side because we spend so much time thinking about the nourishment of other people. We think about taking care of our kids' bodies. We take them to the doctor, get them the food they need. One of my kids has allergies, so it's like tracking that and making special food to bring to the party. That may not be your issue, but whatever it is, it's like, as moms, all of that baseline stuff we do so well for everybody else, and we need to do that for ourselves or it just doesn't work. So that's the first part, nourishment. The second part is really about self-connection. And for me, that includes all kinds of things. I am an expressive arts therapist. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned that. I'm a mom to 2 kids. I'm also a therapist, and my specialty is in expressive arts therapy. So for me, self-connection is about creative practice. It's about listening inside. It's about time in nature. It's also about spiritual practice. And there's all kinds of things I'm exploring in that arena. And it's also about healing and emotional healing, letting emotions move through us, working with our inner child. So the first bucket is nourishment. The second bucket is about self-connection. The third bucket is about relationships. And so that can include relationships with our partner. I have a husband, so that's going to be my experiment here, with your kids, family members, friends, relationships in any form, people you work with. Those are the relationships that are in that third bucket that I'm going to be exploring around regenerative motherhood. And then the fourth one I see as like purpose and the world. So how are we showing up in the world? How are we stepping into whatever our purpose is, what we came here on this planet to do? And obviously there's overlap between all of those things. There's overlap between purpose and self-connection, and there's overlap between self-connection and relationship and nourishment. They all flow into one another. But these are the 4 big areas for me that I'm working with. For me, the whole point of regenerative motherhood is that we are actually feeling powerful in our lives, and we are feeling inspired, and we are feeling connected to ourselves and to all the things that matter to us and all the people that matter to us. And we are really creating the lives that we want for ourselves and for our families and for the world. And really feeling in alignment with who we are. And that motherhood can be a path to that rather than something we have to get over in order to survive motherhood and then get to be the people we want to be. That, like, everything in motherhood, I don't know about everything, but that motherhood, the challenges of motherhood and the joys of motherhood can be kind of the crucible that we go through. Do you go through a crucible? I don't even know. I don't know. But that it's like all these things in motherhood, they squeeze us, they expand us, and they move us more and more into being the fullest versions of ourselves. That's my hope. And that is what I'm going for with my life, really. But this whole channel is going to be about all the ways that I'm figuring that out, potentially failing at it, making mistakes, and hopefully finding my way toward it. Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment if this has spoken to you. Any part of this video, whether it's about you feeling with me around depletion, whether there's any of the different buckets that I spoke about that you feel excited about, if you want to be on this journey with me, if you have any tips or advice for me, anything like that, please send it my way. Part of the reason I'm doing this is because I want to share what I'm learning, and I want to be able to have this experiment be something that I can share with the world. But also, I really want to create community around it because I know I am absolutely not the only mom who's feeling this way and who really wants to create something different and better for ourselves. So I look forward to what's ahead.